I'm confident that the fresh is about to offend somebody. Here we go. How's it going? Mike here, The Fresh Rinse. Mike's Pressure Washing, Trenton, Ohio. What you just saw was a video of me taking a picture of my sign with the house that I just washed in the background. I do that at the end of every house wash or building wash, what have you. And then I immediately post it to my personal Facebook page and also to my Google page. Now, I'm making this video out of a mass request for such a video or something like this. It seems that a lot of people are asking me for advice on how to post to Facebook, whether it be to a personal page or to the community groups. I'm going to give you some of the Fresh Rinses rules and regulations for posting to Facebook. This is just how I do it. There's no wrong way to do it. I get more than half of my leads because of my ads that I post on Facebook, primarily the community groups. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Back to what I was saying about posting to my personal page. I post every house wash, again, the picture of the sign with the house in the background, thanking the individual, calling them by either their first or their last name, but never both. Thank you, Mrs. Johnson, for the opportunity to wash your home today. Exclamation point. Post it to my personal page, and all of my friends see 3, 4, or 5 houses every single day, and they probably get sick of it, but that's the idea. So I want people to know that I am the go-to guy for pressure washing houses in particular, but both commercial and residential work. When people think of house washing, I want them to think of me. When they think of me, I want them to think of a lot of things, but primarily, or certainly, I want them to think of me as the guy that they call for pressure washing. Because they're going to have those conversations with people, and I want them to say, oh, I know a guy. And I want them to be able to go straight to my page, screenshot a photo, send it to their friend, and me pick up work. That's the whole idea. So I always post to my personal page. And by the way, I want people to see my personal page. Not only will they see my ads that I post on my personal page, the pictures of the houses, but they will then scroll through and they'll see my grandchildren. They'll see what my wife and I did on our last date last Friday night, and they'll see wholesome content on my personal page. Now, as a side note, and I'm confident that the fresh is about to offend somebody. Here we go. Somebody might say, no, not me. Oh, nay, nay. I'm not posting to my personal page, and I'm not accepting any friend requests from my customers. I don't want them seeing the content on my page. That's my personal page. Well, here goes. That makes sense if you're still in middle school. But we are adults. Now you can take that two ways. You can say, well, we're adults, so they should be able to handle this terrible content that I post on my Facebook page. All this outlandish behavior that I do in my personal life, which is my business, well, my customers, they can handle it because we're adults. Or you can say, it's time to grow up. It's just time to grow up, and we're living on a different planet if you think that what people think of you is not important. Now, this is just my personal rant. You can forward through this if you want to. Somebody says, I don't care what people think about me. What I do in my own time, that's my business. I don't care what people think about me. Well, we only say that when what people are saying about us are negative things. Like when people are saying positive things, good things, man, you want to get this guy. He's the best in town. He's always on time. He does a great job, has a fair price. You'll not be disappointed. We don't say, hey, I don't care what you think about me. We don't do that. When the boss calls you into the office over the intercom, and you've got that 5-minute walk from your station to the boss's office, and you've got this repeated in your head. I don't care what they think about me. They can take this job and they can shove it for all I care. And then you walk into the office and you see this panel of men and women sitting there with a smile on their face. They ask you to have a seat and they say, hey, listen, we've been watching. You're doing an amazing job. Like you're always on time. You whistle while you work. All of your coworkers, no one has anything bad to say about you, and we want to reward you for that. We're going to give you an increase in your pay and 2 extra weeks vacation this year. You don't look at them and say, I don't care what you think about me. You can take this job and shove it. We only say that we don't care what people think about us when what people think about us are negative things. You say, but Mike, you're just trying to impress people. Let me say this. There's a difference between trying to impress people and leaving people with a good impression. I want to leave people with a good impression. So, I post to my personal page every single day, every house wash, every business wash, and I thank the homeowner. Now, as a side note, the sermon is over, okay? The sermon is over. As a side note, I usually do not post the house number. I don't post the house number, and if I can keep it from being in the picture, then I will do that. And I do not get their permission. But the thing is, you can go online and you can see their house regardless, and everyone knows this. So it's not necessary to get their permission. If they ask me not to do it, or if they ask me to remove it, then I definitely would. Here's another little tidbit. When someone requests an estimate from me, and certainly if they accept my offer and we schedule, I almost always look them up on Facebook and request their friendship. Why? Because they have 500 friends right around here that I do not know. They have 500 to 1,000 people that live in this area that I do not know. And then every time they comment on one of my photos, and they will, then their friends see that. It's free advertisement. What about community groups? I'm not going to do a full-fledged video on how to post to community groups. That would be an insult to your intelligence. If you've got a Facebook page, all you got to do is go up into the search bar, type in the name of your town, your county, the cities all around you, and you're going to get a plethora of community groups, yard sale pages, moms groups, all that stuff. Request membership and then start posting away from your personal page. Now you say, why from your personal page? I'm going to tell you why I always post, not from my business page, but from my personal page. The reason being is, I want people to know that a person is coming to their home, not a business. Again, if I post from my personal page, they then go on to my personal page, they check me out, and they say, there's a Class Act guy. There's a guy who I don't have to worry about when I'm not there. He can wash my home anytime, and I don't have to worry about being home. He's not going to steal my stuff. Here's a classy guy. I want people to know that a person is coming to their home, not a business. I post to these groups no less than 3 times a week. Sometimes I will post 7 days a week. I've been doing this for so many years that people are sick of seeing it, but they know that Mike's Pressure Washing is the person to contact. I have people all the time, they say, I see you everywhere. And I'm thinking to myself, not really. You've just seen me a number of times in these community groups, and you just think that I'm all over the place. It's just good personal business, and it works for me. Now, just a heads up, a lot of groups will not allow advertising. Some groups will allow advertising once a week. Some groups will allow advertising once a month. Some groups never. I have been asked to only post once a week. I've been asked to only post once a month. And I've been asked to never post again. And I follow those rules. But I post out there and wait for someone to respond. And many times, I will get leads before I'm through posting. I post to 40-ish community groups, again, 3 to 4 times a week. And many times I have gotten requests for quotes before I'm even done. It usually takes about 15 minutes. So I'm not going to do a full-fledged video on how I post to community groups with all my content and all that stuff. And the reason being is I don't want you to copy me. Why do I not want you to copy me? Because you need to do your own thing. People need to know that you are coming to their house, not Mike. Put the content out there that relates to you, and the people that relate to you will ultimately respond. So clean up your Facebook page and start posting from your personal page. All right, that was opportunity 1 of 4 on today, and I really appreciate you watching. I'm going to use this as my copy and paste for when people ask for this kind of video. All right, Mike, the Fresh Rinse, and I'm out.